What's up, guys? Welcome to Major Players, where I bring you a major player that I'm interested in learning from because, like I said, your job in life is to get next to people who are playing a bigger game and looking to win. And today, I got my man, Brad Allen. We've known each other for a long time, but right now, Brad actually, real fast, Brad runs Perfect Trading Company. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, perfect. Right. It's perfect ratio. It's a play on
Perfect.
the Fibonacci.
Got
It's
it.
a measurement. Yeah. It's
Perfect ratio
perfect ratio trading.
Perfect ratio trading. Got it. And I'm not a trader, man. So I'm gonna be learning from you today. Like I said, you've been in the military, special ops. You're the man. I've known you for a long time. Family man. Like your real thing is being a dad, dude. You're a great guy. I always see you. We talk. I'm impressed by you. And I mean, the real part about major player is getting people on here that's playing a big game or looking to play a bigger game and having straight talk about money, right? What's important to you. So thanks for kind of coming on and spending time with me. Like I said, I want to learn from you. Like I said, every time I'm around people who are pushing, it inspires me to do great. So thanks for spending time with me today, bro.
Yeah, no worries, Vic. I'm just trying to get like you, bro.
Hey,
You're a couple years older than me. You're kind of my mentor, and I look forward to catching up with you because it's been, like we said, double digit years, bro.
for
You met
sure.
me back tears, man.
Yeah.
And times are a little different now as our roads have crossed again.
Hmm.
It's very interesting.
Nice, nice,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Cool, cool. So, real fast, like this. So, like, bring everybody, I mean, and myself too, up to speed. So, like, tell me a little bit about what you're working on now so far. Just a little bit about your company there and in the trading and why it's important to you.
Yeah, brother. Um, I think trading is most important to me because of the amount of time it saves you, right? Like
Hmm.
we're constantly trading our time for
Mm,
money.
right.
Um, and I was like, being in the military, I was like, I'm trading an awful lot of my time, and I'm not getting a whole lot of money in return, right? So it's like I've got to weigh some things here. So I started playing around. I was actually forced into trading. Um, we did a deployment. Me and my one of my teams, so four dudes in an apartment down in Panama, right during the heart of COVID,
Hmm.
and um, we could only get into country under one agreement, and they were like, you got to quarantine for I think it was like 14 days or some ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
So four dudes in an apartment. It's a two-bedroom, bro, because we had the other team that we're swapping out with. I mean, they set us up nice. We had a condo, little penthouse in the city of Panama, right? We had two of them,
Right.
two bedrooms on one floor, two bedrooms on the other,
Yeah.
and we ran ops like that, right? Just out of a apartment complex, very low key. But we couldn't meet or intersect with these guys. So they were like dropping groceries off at our door. We would tell them what we want because that's the only way we could get food. And we're like, dude, this is bullshit. So we were sitting on a lot of like per diem money, like
Hmm.
3K a month on this deployment. And I had no way to spend it because everything was closed. And I was like, well, fuck, dude, let's gamble a little bit. Yeah, I don't need this money. I'm expect I was gonna blow it anyway if the city was open. So let's just gamble. But we took that deployment money, me and my medic, and bro, when I saw what I could do with that and match my yearly salary,
Mm,
it, I never turned back since.
right.
I never turned back. Like my give a fuck at work was broken. Like you couldn't tell me shit, bro. I was hiding in the urinal during opening bell. Like they got formation outside. I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm about to make 18K right now. Like
Right.
I need to be in my time is more valuable than that formation. Or you're gonna give me a counseling. Oh no,
Yeah.
that's really gonna hurt my feelings. Like
Right.
I'm not gonna play this game anymore. And at that moment, the army had no control over me, no
Mm,
edge.
mm.
So they kind of lost interest in me as a person.
Right. It's
Um,
that moment of, I mean, that's what everybody's looking for, right? Like I think, we talk about it a lot. Like I think it gets missed, right? There's a moment of freedom. And that's why I wanted to do this interview because the more people I talk to, there's a moment where everybody hits that thing where it's like you're at that crossroad of your life and you look and you go, "Oh, wait a minute. I don't need that. I don't want that." Like there's something else. And then that becomes a new thing. So Man, and thanks for sharing that, bro. That's huge. And hopefully people get that. Like everyone's gonna have that moment where you're trading anyways. You're gonna trade time for money or you're gonna trade money for money. And one of those things is gonna pay you more, especially what's important to you. So quick question though, did you come from money growing up? Like what was it like growing up? Did they talk, did you come from money or did they talk
Bro,
about money a lot?
brother. I got goosebumps when you talk about that. Nah, bro. There's some trading days where I make my mom's entire salary. She was a public school teacher, bro.
Mm,
Single
mm.
mom. You know, my you know my story, bro. Like my dad killed himself 2 days before my third birthday
Wow.
and just
Yeah.
single mom in it ever since.
Yeah.
So like and then I didn't really respect that until I got older and I started seeing like inflation and how like bro everyone's taking a risk. Well, it's not just me throwing my money out there.
Right.
um it's like you're risking it too, bro. Like you putting your shit in your sofa behind you or hidden behind your portrait in a safe, that money's not doing jack shit. It actually might be losing you value. I mean, you're gambling that it's
Right.
not, but
Right.
I'm going to tell you that it is. Like history doesn't lie about inflation. You know that being
Hmm.
in the real estate game,
Yeah,
bro.
1000%.
Rates and all that, it all messed up right now. Um,
So like
but
when you were growing up, that wasn't a
That is what I'm
topic.
talking about. I'm derailed.
Yeah, no, no, you're good. So like when you
Yeah.
were
Oh,
growing up, man, it wasn't
I didn't start to appreciate money. That's where I was going. Yeah.
right, right.
How far my mom's like $20 she would give me that week. I go to
Mm,
the movie cinema with a girl, you know, be nice, that Southern gentleman. I'd pay for her ticket too.
yeah.
I get us a soda, some popcorn to share, and I still had change, brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was a $20. And my mom would do that every weekend, bro. And I did
Mm,
the math, and that's like $100. And like, bro, back like that's a big chunk of her paycheck. I don't know how she did it and fed us. And I had sports gear, very expensive. And it's just like now like I'm setting moms up. Like, you don't gotta worry
right,
about shit, moms. I got you. Like
right,
chill.
dude.
It's time for you to actually retire next year. I talked her into it. Come
Hmm.
take care of your baby girl. You know, Nora's 2 years old, right? So come spend it's been a blessing for me to be able to spend that entire 2 years with her at home,
Right,
right? Doing what
right.
I love to do.
Yeah, we have a
And
we,
that's that thing we talked about, that time, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure, man. We have a similar background. My mom too, man. When my parents split up when I was young, she went off and she had to get a job. She worked home health, and eventually she bought her own home. But during that time, we were just talking about that the other day. Like I didn't know either, because she was probably making. I think she said her minimum wage was $3 an hour back then, $3.25. So all she did was work, and she like bought her home, had extra, but it was this constant thing, and we never talked about money either. We talked about it, but it was like work hard, save your money. You got to work. You got to, it was this constant threat of what that really looked like. So nobody really had the conversation. And as a kid like you, man, I didn't know. So that's interesting, bro. Like it's true. Like I find a lot of people who are successful, that driving factor kind of came from like they were around it, but they didn't really get it. So so when you were young, like what was young Brad like? Like when you look back at you being young, I heard you say like getting money, going, taking girls, Southern comfort, saying like being the gentleman and stuff like that. Like what was young Brad like back then?
Bro, don't let my hype stories fool you, Vic. Like sometimes, bro, like if I wasn't a male, bro, I wouldn't have anything to play with. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like we were that broke sometimes.
Yeah.
So like thank glory be to God, you know.
Right, right,
But no, in all seriousness, my mom did the best that she could um with what she had. I
right.
feel like. I don't think she ever, you know, psycho psychologically, you know, being 37 years old right now, I'm just now getting over that my dad's death, like, and
Hmm.
learning how to deal with it and those emotions, right? My mom's never been to therapy, bro.
Right.
She don't talk about feelings, right? Like
Yeah,
she's just
yeah.
a distractor, right? The old people, the older generation, excuse me, it's kind of stuck in their ways. They didn't deal with emotions back then, and I
Right.
didn't either because
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
was taught growing up.
For sure, for sure. My
Even
my parents too. It was like,
emotions bad, bro.
yeah, if they have any type of hurt, they work. So like my dad is the same way. Like my dad's still alive, but my parents split up when I was young. So it was like that separation. So like it's not the same thing. So man, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. but like having that father figure leave and watch my mom push, and then I went with my mom. My mom's way to deal was to work, and then my dad, his way to deal was to work, drink and work. It's because he grew up in the South, so it's like they don't drink to be drunk, but it's like they just drink all day. But those same guys that are drunk will get
It's a
out,
race
operate.
set, bro.
Yeah, yeah, for
They
sure. So
just
like,
reset.
right. And they don't really express very well. But what it did was as a kid, probably like for you, it was always this driving force of like, I need to work, I need to figure out how to make money, I need to go hustle, and I need to just kind of stuff it. So, what was that turning point as you as it and like you said, maybe it was the military thing. Was that your turning point in life to go, dude? Like I know I don't want this. Was that the military, that experience that you had, or was it earlier? I'm always trying to find that through line to be like, oh, when I was younger, this happened.
Oh, brother, we're limited on time today, but I'll
Hmm.
try to get into it. But the whole story between how I even got, I don't know if you remember this or not, because I was kind of going through it mentally when I found you at Warhorse in
Yeah,
Hawaii, right? And that was just a place where, hey, we left it all in that building, right? We
right.
left it all in that fucking driving ramp up to your place. Like
Yeah, yeah.
after, bro, I'm telling you, that thing, Warhorse probably saved my life if you
Bro,
want
I
to get down
appreciate you,
to the
man.
nitty gritty. Yeah, man. And that's why I still hold you near and dear and still stay in contact with you, right?
Yeah,
Um,
we're family, man.
check
Forever
this
for
out
that
though,
place.
Vic. Yeah, check this out, brother. What redirect me again.
We
Where
were
was I
talking about
at
like
here?
what was that through line of being like, hey, look, you know what? Financially and what I'm doing, like I need to
Yeah,
make, I don't like this and I
got
got to make a change, like life wise. Like,
I got you. Yeah, yeah. I'm back on. I'm sorry, bro. I wish I could turn the camera around. You could see I got five monitors
no,
right
no,
here.
no,
I'm
you're good, bro.
monitoring.
You're good. You're a
Um,
trader. You got good attentions. You're not off.
they're putting 7.44 million in the Palantir right now, and that's one of the companies that we hunt down bad guys with. And that's
Right,
like,
right,
kind of inspired this whole thing, and why I track down politicians and
right.
inside trading right now. Um, but yeah, that just caught my eye. I'm sorry. That means
No, no, no. We're gonna
we're
go into
probably
that
about to
too because
pop off
I
or
want to hear
something.
about that. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
uh, yeah, you got Trump with talking about healthcare too. So,
Mm.
um, but so you joined the crazy story about why I got into the military. That's where we were going with it, bro. I got into running one time in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
They had this loop and you could run around the beach, bro, and it was just like the bars that we went to and partied and just take a little lap. And if you did the whole thing, it was like 3 miles, and I would
Yeah.
do that every day. Um, one day I was dehydrated and I was outside and bro, that locking your knees is a real thing, bro. You will pass out. I locked
Hmm.
my knees and when I fell forward, I'm 5'11". I was tall enough, I was standing in the grass, but my torso was tall enough to make it to the asphalt, bro. And my
Mm.
face caught me. Bro, messed up my whole face. I knocked two teeth back in my head, one tooth completely out, bro. It was a mess, like a dental nightmare. And
Wow.
guess what I had? Not a lick of insurance.
Mm.
So I'm like, fast on my feet. That's what we do. How are we going to fix this, bro? I can't go around with these dentures
Those
that I'm
teeth.
sneezing out every day. Like,
Yeah,
no, bro,
yeah.
I need some implants. How are we going to do this?
Right.
Um, and someone said, try care,
Mm.
military will pay for them. I said, well, what do I got to do? Right. So I
Right.
went and did the thing. Um, enlisted at satellite communications. It was a little too nerdy for me. I didn't like. I didn't like the crew that I was around, right?
Right.
And that's the good thing and the glory in being in the service is you might not like the job or the people you're around, but you can redirect after those 4 years, right? And
Right.
just choose a different one. And that's when I went spec ops, um, and kind of found my little niche in the military.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah, got my teeth fixed in Hawaii by a wonderful lady, Lieutenant Colonel Behrens. God, she's an artist, bro, because
Look how handsome
I
you
had
are,
no
bro.
forte.
For real.
And that's the money maker, right? Like I can't go around with meth mouth, like
Nope.
trying to sell anything. You know what I
No.
mean?
No, no
Like
trader's
that's
gonna, yeah, nobody's gonna take your trade advice with you looking like a meth head.
no, bro. And you know
Zero.
what they say? Like if your meth dealer has teeth, that's an undercover cop, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure. For sure.
I'm trying. I ain't trying to be a meth dealer.
Yeah.
But
So
uh,
like
uh,
that moment of getting in the military, I mean, and naturally, right, everybody has their through line to be like, dude, like for me, it was a no more moment. I was like, bro, I can't. I don't want to be broke. Like when I got out of the military, I had nothing, and similar. So like I had nothing. So it wasn't even a real estate thing for me. It was just like I picked up where I left off. So you have zero. I got out and I had zero. And it was like, then I burned every bridge leading up to that, drop out of the military, free money. Um, Started selling weed, got busted, was on probation, and then I had to get a job. And every job I got, everyone hated it, whether they had just started or whether they had been there for 10 years. So I was like, okay, you have to do something. And I'm a simple guy, so I got a book from the store, How to Buy Real Estate with No Money, because I didn't have any. Um, and that I've been on that path this whole time. But during that time, though, it always, probably like for you, it's like when my parents split up and we went back to like Louisiana from Texas. Um, there was one moment, like I also always said, like there's always a moment, and it doesn't have to be like a sterile moment. Everyone's like, oh man, I had this epiphany. For me, we were moved back to Louisiana. I was a kid. So it's still in the line of the military, but it was like a circle back mentally for me, right? So we are driving down this road in the middle of like the sugar cane fields, and there was this big house pushed off in the back with the pillars. It was a plantation house. And again, my dad was in the military too. So I had this military background of like the world, being in Panama, Denver, Washington, Texas. So like I had exposure to everything. So then all of a sudden in Louisiana, it's like there's nothing here. But this house was in the back, and I was like, Mom, like like who owns that hotel? And she was like, that's a house. And I was like, wow, it's big. And so because in my mind, it was just like a big hotel, right? Um, and I was like, she was like, well, it's a plantation house. And I was like, all right, my parents didn't raise me with like this whole race and nationality stuff at all because we were in the military. So it was just a non-issue, right? And then she was like, well, and I was like, that's a lot of grass because I hated cutting the grass. To this day, I hate cutting yards. So, and I was like, who cuts the grass? And she was like, well, that's not grass, that's sugar cane. And a long time ago, a family owned that. Their whole family lived there. So, people lived there. And then the people in the back, they were slaves and they used to cut the grass, but that they don't have that anymore. And I was like, oh, so my brain, 8 or 9, I was like, I want slaves. So, because I want them to cut the grass too. So like my brain, and I was like, so how they have all this land? And my mom was like, well, those people they were rich. They owned everything. They own all the land, all the properties. Everybody rents from them, or they own all the stores. It's a family thing. So it was like the LeBlancs or whatever, right? In those neighborhoods, because my mom is Creole, right? So we were also my mom was raised that. She used to speak French with my grandfather, things like that. So I had that. So my brain automatically, as a kid, was like real estate. You own a bunch of real estate, you own a bunch of properties, everyone rents from you, and you have everyone kind of do the maintenance, do the grass, do the stuff. Like, like it was always there. So I was like, in order for you to have, everyone else is like land, and then I see that, and I'm just like, eh. So when I went to the military, I was stationed in Hawaii, which is where we met. So like I mean, it's been chasing me my whole life. Texas, everybody owns. So to your point, man, like it's interesting because, when you have this experience that drives you to like you said, military, and then like you said, also in the military, what you learned in the military that I'm picking up, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like your lesson you went from teeth to being in the ops to trading for what you learned, man. That's crazy because if you think about it, most dudes will never learn what you learn to have some insight, to have purpose of a trader. Some guys will work on Wall Street, which I'll get into. They'll work on Wall Street, they'll be in a hedge fund, they'll have some trading experience, maybe they're a market maker or something like that. But then they leave that space, try to do it on their own without the data because they got fed data. You learned why, like Palantir, why they do what they do. So like if you're looking at their stuff and you're getting information, it's different. So man, that's cool. Which is why I said to me, you're a major player because what you're doing is not just rando. You did, I don't know if you went to like college and then you worked on Wall Street. I mean, apparently you didn't. But like most people out there that are trying to do something big, they're really doing it. And that's impressive, bro. I mean, it is. So especially like I said, you watching it happen as a kid and then making it happen, like seeing where that line was for you to be like, hey, we need this, for me and my family and also the people that we're going to work with. So question for you, man. Um, that was your moment, so your moment was really like being on the toilet going, dude, I can make 18, I'm gonna make a whole year salary chilling. Um, I'm less and less interested in going in formation. That's cool.
And at that right, and at that point, I realized like this whole game is rigged, bro. Like everything in the military is based off a scare tactic,
Hmm.
and if they don't have that leverage on you, then bro, what is a counseling? Uh, it's like someone tattling on you. I don't know, man. It's like
Yeah.
oh no, no, don't do that again.
Right. And for
What?
people never join the
That's all made
military,
up. Hey,
yeah, for people who never join the military that's watching this later, it's like when you're in the military and you get in trouble, it's like being in high school where you have a counseling session and they go over what you did, and they put it in your packet and it follows you. And I was in the infantry, so like I got a lot of counseling statements, a lot of I always tell people like, when they ask what rank I was when I got out, and I was like, well, I was a private a lot. And so, between counseling and freaking losing rank and getting in trouble, it was like, because, typically you're young, like you
that's
said.
that's how we learn.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So that said, though, and good. So that kind of segues into my other question for you, man. Like, why do you think they make like it's so, why do you think institutions, hedge funds, all these other, traders or whatever, like why do you think they make it so hard for the everyday trader or guys like you to get involved? Like why do you think the big guys kind of exclude the little guys so much?
Well, big honestly, I don't think that they exclude the
Mm,
small guys. I think they just capitalize on the smaller guys' emotions, right? Like, how can we
mm,
scare them out of a trade? You
mm-hmm,
know, how can we lead them into the wrong trade? Can we trap them? We have enough money to make this stock do whatever we want.
mm.
What day are we going to do it, guys? And they get up, then they get together and they do it like that.
Right,
So
right.
what we do is we watch the money, and I want to figure out the game plan backwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw 12.92 million go into ASTS, which is an aerospace theme.
Uh-huh.
I threw 20 grand at it, and bro, that shit went up 40%, bro.
Wow.
Like, what? And that was in one week. One
Mm,
week,
yeah,
right? And I'm
right.
getting what did the TSP? TSP, for those that weren't in the military, thrift savings plan. That's equivalent to our Roth, or the
Or like
401k
a
essentially,
401k or
Roth,
IRA,
or what was
right?
the other one?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right, Roth IRA, or if you got in later, you won't have that opportunity. But then that really started sparking the gears. I'm like, okay, so if I put 10% of my paycheck in here and the military matches up to 5%, that's free money, baby. So I'm just going to do this, keep like I'm an E4 all the way up to I'm E6, living like,
Right.
rotisserie chickens and steamed veggies. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
bare
yeah.
minimum. That lifestyle never got me, Vic, and it won't,
Mhm.
it won't get me. Bro, I still drive a Honda to this day.
Right,
Could I
right.
go out and buy a Mercedes? Yeah, of course I could. And why the
Yeah,
fuck do I want to do that?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
no.
right. Well, and it's
But that's
interesting
cute.
because like,
Your car payment is a mortgage, right?
yeah,
So
it's interesting. Like, everybody, like most of the people I talk to that are successful, there's two types. There's people who are like committed to get this success level. And like everybody, I mean, I like toys, stuff like that. But I don't have any toys. Like I've had them, I've lost them, and be honest with you, most of the things that I've ever done, probably like for like you, like it's you have the experience and you're like, oh, it's not as fun as I thought. Then you get rid of it and you get back to work. So, and so I totally get
right,
that.
right.
I do. Yeah. So like, so I get it. So like, because what I find in my world, this was my lesson from real estate. I never wanted to do the real estate I was doing, but I noticed like kind of like you said, the big guys in the industry, the Blackstone, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, whatever, they all are in real estate. So the unfortunate part, if you're little, you're that's the deals they do. So they'll go buy big properties, big institutional quality, 200, 300 unit, like class A properties, and then they'll turn them into a stock. And then they'll sell that stock to the regular person so they can invest in that maybe like through their mutual fund or their I mean through a mutual fund, IRA, Roth, whatever, right? But it's a REIT. It's not actual real estate. So like, and if you're a guy like me, it's like, so we're gonna get these big deals, and then you will be sold the idea to go buy a home that so you're gonna be stuck in a place for 30 years. You're gonna be or go invest in mutual funds or stocks or bonds, or go get a mortgage, or if you're gonna be an investor, go get a fix and flip deal or a little small 20, 30 unit apartment building, and we'll let you do that. But that's why I asked. I notice a lot of people is like the bigger companies, and I'm talking about companies, not people, like they make it really hard for the little guy to build anything, which is what I wanted to do. I was like, dude, I don't want to, like my mom can't invest in my fund because she's not accredited, right? So we got to figure those things out. My dad, my sister, people I work with, like if you don't make enough money. That's why I asked that because like being a trader and you helping, the everyday person get into that business and say, look, here's what we can do, right? We collectively come together, we can make it happen because just like those guys take all their money and invest with their friends, why don't we take all of our money, make the same moves they're making, and together we can win, right? So that's why I asked that, and I'm big on that with what I'm doing. And I learned that when I got out of the military and I got into this business. I was like, why don't you guys buy those? Like, oh, we don't want to do those. They had this story, same story that we had growing up with money. Work hard, penny saved is a penny earned. Eat all your food. There's some kid starving some other place in the rest of the world that wishes they had what you had. At least you got a bike, stuff like that. But it's like,
Man, and
go ahead.
meanwhile, the Japanese and one of their proverbs is eat till you're like 70, 80% full.
Mm,
And, our
yeah,
Southern moms, like, yeah, you get up whenever that plate is clean.
right.
And there
Yeah,
was
for
no
sure.
choice, right? Like
Right.
you ate
Yeah.
whatever you got. I don't
Yeah.
remember choosing having options.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You
Right.
ate what you ate.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah.
and we were kind of in both of us in a situation growing up, with my dad, you know, picking, I don't know, I like to say he pussied out. Honestly,
Mm,
that was like a permanent solution to a temporary problem, right? And it didn't
right.
hurt anyone but the people they left behind. I mean, you see how long it took me to fucking recover from this, right? And get my head on straight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. I won't tear up on camera or anything, but at
No,
that
you're
point, you
good.
got to choose a mindset,
You
right?
do.
Like,
You
woe
do.
is me. Do I say woe is me? Like, oh, I never had a father. I didn't have these privileges growing up. Or do I say, damn, dude, you know what? I'm thankful I didn't have a father because I get to create what that character means to me in life. Like I get to
Yeah.
create the perfect hybrid of all these people I've met. A little
Hmm.
piece of Vic, a little piece of, Taylor, a little piece of Bill, and I put them
Right.
together and make this super father. And that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
today. And
Yeah.
I want to help other people do that shit, bro.
Right.
Because yeah, I could say everyone's got problems. Everyone, bro.
Hmm.
You ever sit in traffic? You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what people are going through beside you.
Right.
But it's so easy to pick out the negative things, and
Hmm.
that's what the damn army is. You get a counseling. You never get a counseling based on the good merits that you had, right?
Yeah. They don't
Unless
go,
it's
hey,
for the
you did
team. Like,
great
oh,
today. Let's
every three
talk.
years you get these automatic like good conduct medals if you don't fuck
Right.
up. Like, no, I don't give a shit about that. Like, oh, you mean I didn't learn, I didn't grow? Is that what you're
Right.
telling me? And you're giving me a medal for it
Yeah.
for
And
me
that's how,
staying in line? Get the
for
fuck out of
sure.
here.
And that's how it
Yeah,
is.
we're all drilling.
I find that with business, right? Like if you look at business like a game, I always do. I'm like, hey, look, real estate's a game, business is a game, trading's a game, right? Like everyone's like, yeah, like first, most of the people that listen to me or like me or talk to me, I talk about success and money and I talk about success and wealth. Wealth is your duty. Like if you owe it to your family and your friends and anybody who knows you to make success your duty, like you're doing, right? Um, and it's like it's a good scorecard. Find money and finances is a scorecard. It is like it helps. Everyone else is like, like it's not all about that. Money doesn't make you happy. I'm like, well, it doesn't need to make you happy, but happiness and money are not the same thing. So you can definitely do more. You can help more people. I think sometimes not building a big company or building a big business is selfish because if you, there's some people who, and probably like for you too, because of our backgrounds, you know when someone doesn't have it. You can look at them and be like, it doesn't mean that they can't do something, but you're just looking like, dude, like, don't do this. You're gonna get crushed. And then there's some people like that. I know everybody has the potential to do something. I always say, like, some people are, everyone's capable, but not everyone has the capacity. So, you have kids, you don't want to give your kid 5 scoops of ice cream stacked up this high, knowing they're going to spill it. You're setting them up for failure. But like when you're, for me, when I'm like, okay, well, how much money can I generate if there's unlimited, there's no shortage of money on the planet, and I'm in a runway like you, like you're in trading, right? You can make unlimited amounts of money over time, long periods of time if you focus, and you can help other people do it too. So it's almost like we talked about not having different people in our lives, like a father figure, a role model, things like that. Because I did the same thing. I took all the business people that I saw, and I was like, how do I become them? And they become a role model. Um, all my friends' dads and moms, or really their families. It was less about the individual one, but I was like, I like this or I don't like that. Or my friends, like I've never done drugs. I don't drink. I used to drink. I've never. But it wasn't because of any other reason, but just like I'm a guy that if I watch somebody else get spanked, I just refuse to do it. I don't need to get punished. I'm aware of my surroundings. So I was bringing that up to say it's cool to hear us talk about that because like with knowing that like military backgrounds, there's a lot of entrepreneurs and business people that have military backgrounds that leave the military and they do one out of two things. They do really good or their identity was attached to it and they never find this other piece to be like, dude, who are you, not what are you, right? For me, I'm just probably like for you, like you're Brad, I'm Vic, but I chose to be like, I'm gonna put that same I don't want to call it ADD because there's no blood test for it. There's no piss test for it. There's no hair sample test for it. There's just, I talk to you, I seem scatterbrained because you can't keep up, and I get a label. So I just like to say that I have AAF. I'm awesome as fuck. And I just better, man. I got a superpower and you don't. So
Just
like,
say you
but
have a suit. That exactly. Call it what it is. It's a
yeah, like,
superpower,
dude,
and
like,
people are just
yeah,
jealous.
you can't process as well as me, and you don't have the level of focus that I do to bite down on a friggin' like, dude, like when I want something, I'm gonna just lock in. Um, and I'm a guy that can take a lot of pain for a long period of time because I have this assumption that I'm a win, and probably like for you, you also believe that you're right about yourself. Doesn't matter what the fuck anybody else says. That's a tough place. Most people can't accept that. So congratulations, man. I want to thank you for focusing on being successful with again coming from where you were, man, that's impressive. Like, so, and I'm looking forward to kind of like still doing this. But the point is, like, I wanted to ask this too, kind of as a finisher, like, how important is it in your head for people listening? How important is money, right? For you, for for the business, for your family, and to take care of other people. Like, how important is that on a scale of like 1 to 10 in your head?
Okay. I have this relationship with money, Vic, where I
Mm,
like to call, I'll put money in its place. Money's a tool. Money's a
exactly.
tool, right? It's not
Hmm.
the end all be all.
Right.
Money is a tool, and I need a vessel. How can I grow this? I'm
Right.
gonna grow it through my time. Why do they pay us hourly to keep us in our box, right? Eh, Why do they charge us for daycare? Like an outstanding amount because people can't afford, like they rather one person in the household can work, hold up a job, while the other person's like, if I do get a job, it's all going to go to daycare. So now you've got that middle class exactly where you want them, right? Because
Mm,
two people really do make the dream work. I know your wife is very, very successful. You guys are a power couple, right? So
mhm.
check this out. Me and my wife too. And that was one of the most important decisions of my life. It's who I want to spend the rest of my life with, who I want to build this empire with, because it
Right.
really does. She was there when I had nothing with those blood, sweat, and tears, and I was finding myself, right? Um, so for money, it's a tool for me, a
Hmm.
tool that will give me my freedom back, right? I gave 12 years of my life to the military. They sucked me dry, bro. like
Right.
no,
So
like
on
no
a scale of one to
hesitations at all.
10, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for people to really put their attention on that tool?
Dude, I would say 11.5, bro. Otherwise, you're going to stay exactly where you're at because
Yeah.
you're stagnant. You're going to be stagnant. I mean, are you where you want to be in life right now? Are you okay with never progressing, possibly going down a little bit? Because this amount of money is not going to be able to afford this lifestyle in about 5 years. And you
Right.
need to really start thinking about that, right? Like
Yeah.
you
And
have to
people,
make more money.
if you're listening, you need to hear that, guys. What Brad just said, probably the most important thing. My wife and I were just talking about it. I was like, people have a misunderstanding about money. Because if inflation, let's say inflation is they're got it down to 3% or 2.6 or whatever, right? Let's just say it's at 3. Every year for the next decade, that's a 30% increase of what it is today. So if the world is moving at 100 miles an hour, you're running at 85. The only time you catch up is when it stops, like it did now. And you catch up to it, the world starts moving again. It's at 103. You're still at 85. Then it stops again. Now it's at 106. Now it's at one, you know what I'm saying? 109. And you're still running at 85. So what people miss is what you just said. Like what sustains you today will be unsustainable later. And if you don't play the game to win, you will lose it. But you got to understand money. And most people have zero understanding about money, which is why they never do anything major. And that's the game. So man, you're right about that. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, dude. That's like it's important to me.
Yeah, Jay. Be
Yeah.
careful, man. Don't break the glass, right?
Yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
look,
Cool.
um,
Well,
so
hey man.
also,
Yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
yeah, let's kind of close this out because I think
Yeah,
we're
but
running
no,
a
I
little time.
appreciate it, man, and I don't want to keep you too long. But hey, thanks for this, man. This is really important for people. Do you have one closing thing you want to tell people out there, man? Like one thing that you're like, hey, dude, here's your thing. Do this.
I just want to clarify one thing that we did talk about earlier and we touched on, right? Like
Hmm.
you do have the potential to make unlimited upside, but if you don't have that emotional intelligence, that discipline, with like you and I have the group of people that we surround ourselves with, if you don't have that, then the big market movers, they are going to take advantage of you and you are going to lose at this game.
Right.
It's educated gambling with statistics, right? It's not
Mm.
like, I like this stock. I like Tesla. Elon's, microdosing today, so I'm gonna throw 20K at Tesla because he's gonna do something crazy. Like no, like we're educated and we see the money. 19.51 million going to Taiwan semiconductors. What's about to happen to Taiwan?
Follow the
Stay
money.
tuned, right?
Follow
Uh,
the money. Yeah. So how
Follow
do
the
people get
money,
in
bro.
contact with you, man?
Well, I have social media, right? It's very
Okay.
low key. I don't
What's your
like I don't
handles
really
so that way
pitch
people
this on.
can look you up
Yeah,
online, follow you on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or something.
Brad and Bougie on TikTok, Bracula Blooding, on Instagram.
Bra,
I got
bra,
a couple of aliases.
okay. So
Being in Spec Ops community, I never really put my real name on blast out there,
uh-huh.
right? So I had all these aliases. I need to clean
Yeah,
that shit up
yeah.
actually.
Well, definitely,
Never
man.
mind.
But I definitely want to introduce anybody that, I mean, because you're a great dude, man, and I want to introduce my friends that I trust to my audience too. And we're growing, like I said, because again, I'm pumping out there. Everyone I deal with, man, we're good people. We're just success driven. Everybody's interested in money, wealth, succeeding, helping everybody, lifting everybody up. So I want to make sure, like, if somebody's looking to get into what you're doing, because I don't know, I'm not a trader. But if I had a question or if I'm looking to do anything with anybody, it's going to be you. Um, so yeah, so make sure you guys check out. I know we have Michael there, but Brad, I know you as Brad, but like you're my man.
Yeah,
So what
I had
was
a
it again?
crazy epiphany
What
with
is it,
that
Brad?
too, right? Oh,
So what is your Instagram again?
what
What is your Instagram handle again?
my my Instagram handle is Bracula Blooding. Yeah,
Bracula Blooding.
Bracula Blooding.
Okay, and you're gonna see his handsome
Uh,
face on there anyways.
Dracula. Yeah, just tag me in this, and then the link is in my bio if you want to join our
Perfect.
community. Right?
Will
It's
do.
less. We try
Okay.
to make it as convenient as possible, right?
There you go, man. Make it accessible for people so that way if they really want to get involved with you, they could. And like I said, guys, hey, check Brad out. He's a great dude. He's my guy. He's a major player in what he's doing. I trust him. I really do. He's a great friend of mine. We've known each other for a long time. And family man, honest, tell you like it is, cut to the chase, and he knows his shit. That matters more to me than anything else. So thanks so much. I appreciate you guys for showing up today for today's major players, and I'll catch you on the next one. Let's go. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you for coming.